hugging a perfect stranger as they become a friend, having a good time when the orange and blue WIN. But if you're looking for the diehards, come down to the bar. We are DNVR.
Pleasure Horse kicking off the show, the Friday show with the best vibes possible. Shout out to our guy, Tim Evanson of Pleasure Horse. And he said, just to honor the throwback uniforms, because people were so hyped on them, I want to throw back to a new song, a throwback song. So he made us a new one. I absolutely love it. And Pleasure Horse, they're going to give us a new intro just in a couple of months here too.
Well, I love that one. That has like my heart racing with nostalgia.
Yep, wow. I know. And then the little twist at the end, come down to the bar if you're a diehard.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Oh, I love it. And I love this crew that we've got rocking and rolling today on the DNVR Broncos podcast, live from the Toyota Lounge inside the DNVR Bar, as Pleasure Horse said. Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR, and we've got a full crew: Henry Chisholm, Ryan Koenigsberg, Super Bowl 50 champ Todd Davis, and you hear behind the camera, and of course yours truly, rocking and rolling with you today. We got quite a show. We're going to be dishing out so many greats, and I want to start off this show by a little trivia.
Okay.
Since 2019, so we're going to grade the 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023 drafts. That's 5 drafts. We're not going to grade this most recent one because we did that shortly after the draft. In those 5 drafts, 40 players were taken by the Broncos. How many do you guys think are still on the team right now?
Since 2018?
2019. 5 drafts.
What do you think?
40 players?
40 players drafted total.
I would say 16.
Okay.
I'll go 14.
Okay. Todd?
Yeah, I'm going to go less than that.
Wow.
I'm trying to think, but I can't right now. Say 12.
I feel good about that.
Henry, you were the most?
Yep.
You guys are all so mean to John Elway and George Paton. Really, to just George Paton. 20. Half.
Okay.
And I think what you'll realize when we go through and grade these specific classes is like everyone from last year's draft is still on the team. I think like most people are still on the team from 2 years ago because they haven't even started their 3rd year. So they haven't been that bad as of recent. And we're going to get into grading these drafts. But how are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. You remember how back in the day, they might still do this, but like the news would do like the 7 everyday hero. Yeah, it'd be like, you know, you could nominate a great person in the community for some sort of community service, something that they've done to show that they're a great person. And, you know, then the producers would choose, okay, this is the 7 everyday hero for today.
Yeah.
Well, today's 7 everyday hero is Zach Wilson.
Hey,
Zach Wilson.
Shout out to
an
Zach.
Absolute hero in the community for giving Bo Nix his career a chance by allowing him to wear number 10. Just an all-time stand-up guy move. Todd, I think you would agree with this. Not a thing that normally a veteran would do for a rookie.
Yep.
And you know what? He said, I don't really have any attachment to this number. I'm not going to just be a dick about it. I'm going to give Bo Nix my number. And now my Bo Nix confidence went up like 10x.
Wow, 10x because of 10?
Exactly.
Wow.
No, I think it was a great move. I feel like he really would have had to been a douche to try and keep it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like he's had the number for a year. I think he had it for maybe like 12 days, 13 days.
Yeah.
So I think
Never
it was the
wore
best.
it.
Never actually wore it. So it was the best movement. I think he does deserve to be we call it the 7-day hero.
7 everyday hero. That was like what Channel 7.
Yeah.
Oh, Channel 7. It's a Colorado thing.
Yeah.
There was also some number drama yesterday with Nik Bonitto. He tweeted, I never thought a pair of digits would get me worked up. Brian Asamoah, who I don't think was your teammate with the Vikings. I think he was just after.
Okay.
He said, he has responded the number 11, to which Nick responded, they don't respect me, bro.
Mm.
Wait, say that again?
So Nick said, I never thought a pair of digits would get me worked up.
Okay.
Brian Asamoah, former Oklahoma linebacker now with the Vikings, said 11. and Bonitto said, "They don't respect me, bro." So he tried to get number 11.
But no one has it still.
No, someone
Exactly.
does. Someone does have number 11. Josh Reynolds. So that's why.
Yep.
So there's many things to this, obviously.
Okay, all right, let's go.
Nik
I love number
Bonitto.
drama.
Nik Bonitto could have switched to number 11 before they
He tried.
signed
Yep.
Josh Reynolds. But then clearly they gave it to Josh Reynolds before Nick was able to. And that's why Troy Franklin is wearing number 16, not number 11, because Josh Reynolds came in. And Josh Reynolds is a different type of veteran than a Zach
Yes.
Wilson. Zach Wilson likely isn't going to play. He probably doesn't view it that way. But either you're starting or you're not. Josh Reynolds is probably the Broncos' second or third receiver entering the season, so he is going to play.
If I could rank who I want to wear number 11 out of those three, Josh Reynolds would rank third.
Yes.
Really?
But I actually don't blame him. I would have blamed Zach for not giving him Bo Nix number 10. I don't blame a guy that just got $7 million or $6 million to give number 11 up to a fourth round rookie.
Wait, but why didn't Nick just get it as soon as it opened up?
I don't know. Don't know that.
They might not have let him. It really sounds like he tried based on like when he says they don't respect me, bro.
Yeah,
He
that's
tried.
actually wild. So
Yeah,
Nik Bonitto not starting?
Well, it's not that easy sometimes with the Broncos equipment staff just to get whatever number you want. You know, I think Chip actually, like, you know what I'm saying, ranks kind of not who he wants to get numbers. It doesn't hold anything, but like, I think you got to earn your numbers in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of agree with that. And then I think with Josh Reynolds coming in, when you look at the hierarchy of a locker room, like a proven guy that getting $7 million a year versus a guy who was a high draft pick by the team but hasn't really flourished and is not even truly the starter, I think he, on the totem pole of like team rankings, would probably be below him.
Do they sell Nik Bonitto jerseys in the stores?
No.
Because I was going to say, there's always that, too. If you change your number, you have to buy all the jerseys that are on the shelves.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you can buy a Bo Nix jersey right now. They were literally on the shelves as of yesterday, right when they knew that. So Zach gave his number up a little bit ago.
I think that deep blue Bo Nix jersey looks sweet.
So you're into the jerseys.
Yeah. I kind of was from the start.
Yeah.
They're not, blow you away amazing, but I like them.
And then one more thing. We gave a shout out to Zach Wilson. Got to give a shout out to Justin Simmons. Remains as classy as can be. Justin wore number 31 and really made that, took a terrible number, in my opinion, 31, and made it into a solid, great number for the Broncos. Broncos gave that number to Chris Abrams-Drain, the rookie, and a lot of people did not like that. Justin, just a couple of hours after seeing so much hate going to the Broncos way and Chris's way, he tweeted, "Can't believe I have to address this, but if you supported me in Denver, then please support Chris Abrams-Drain. My number isn't getting retired. I appreciate the support and sensitivity to me leaving, but let's support the young gun. I know he will make it his number." Just the coolest.
I have an opinion on this, but I want to hear Todd's first. Just on the idea of giving a rookie Justin Simmons number just a couple months after he left the team.
I would have liked if they waited. I mean, there's not that many numbers, so it's tough to wait. But like, I think they waited on Vaughns. I know his will probably be retired soon, but I think it would have been cool, like just a 1 year buffer maybe. But that's my opinion.
My opinion on this is you're either retiring it or you're not. And I hate this like half-ass retirement thing they've done with Champ Bailey's number that they like gave to Pac-Man Jones when he came. And then no one else has ever worn it other than Pac-Man, which is honestly worse than maybe just never retiring it at all. And I don't get that. Retire the number or don't retire the number and get it back into circulation. So I kind of agree with Justin that he probably wasn't going to ever get his number retired in Denver. And so let's go. There's only so many numbers.
Yeah. I do think like sometimes you have to wait to know whether it's worthy of retirement though.
Do you think 31 was in that conversation?
No, it wasn't. Like as sad as that is. I mean,
you just need team success. You need team
like,
success.
He's a really good player, led the league in interceptions since like Eli. But like if you're talking 4 numbers are retired, Justin Simmons wasn't going to be the 5th. 3 numbers are retired. Justin Simmons wasn't going to be the 4th.
4 players represented by 3 numbers.
That's true. 3 numbers, 4 players. Shout out Frank Trapute.
But if you just have to think about the numbers that aren't retired.
Yeah.
30, You
Yep.
know,
84.
84. You know, you go on
88.
like some of the greatest Broncos of all time still don't have their jerseys retired, and you've seen players wear those numbers. So
Yeah.
I say either retire it or don't, and get it going again.
But even for those numbers, like I said with Chip, he's not like ready to give those out. Those aren't like first come, first serve, like whoever can get it. Like most of the time, you got to be a certain caliber of player, or you got to call that player to make sure he's okay with you wearing the number. So that's what I feel like could have been done with Justin Simmons. Just like, you know, you don't have to retire it like today, and it can go back into recirculation maybe like a year from now, but maybe call Justin, or at least like, you know, let it sit on the shelf for this year so he can kind of get his glory, because we don't know where he's going to be next year yet. So not retiring it, but just kind of how they do other guys' numbers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And we've seen former players in the past get mad about this. I remember Shelby Harris right after he left, and they gave his number away right away. And Shelby, so loved in the organization, loved by fans, you know, a starter for many years. But you can't keep everyone's number off the shelf for a year. But I do think there is a difference between a Shelby Harris, again, really good player, was a great part of this team, and a Justin Simmons. Justin Simmons, and we know Justin Simmons right away that his number isn't going to be retired. Justin, great player, could be a Hall of Famer, but I don't think he's a guy that you retire his number. So I'm okay with them using it, but I do see maybe just 1 year keep it away.
It's 7, 18, and 44, right?
Yep.
Floyd Little.
Yep.
Okay.
The only other numbers available for corner were 44, 46, and 47. So you'd really be screwing the kid over.
Okay, they did that to Riley Moss last year.
They
though.
did.
Riley Moss.
I mean,
was a
37's
pick.
better than any of those.
37 sucks.
It's definitely better than
44 is
40.
retired.
It's better than 40.
46 and 47.
Yeah.
What draft pick was he?
Fifth round.
5th round, you could get 47.
Yes, exactly.
For sure.
47 for a corner is insane.
He's just lining up on the boundary across from Tyreek Hill in 47.
You still got to make the team, I think, 5th round draft pick.
definitely.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be on the
more
field that
come
much.
out.
Yeah. That's what I think about Audric Estime in 37. I think that's temporary. Even though I think it actually works for a big back. But I think
I don't know.
I think he just waits until some better numbers open
37 needs to be off the team. That's a terrible number.
Thank you.
But,
Thank you.
But like for a big back like that, like Sean Alexander, like think back to Sean Alexander, like it's the same thing. We're just out there just plowing guys over in number 37. Like you can't put him in number like 21. Like
No,
I
that's
actually
just
would have been cool with giving him like 45 or whatever.
Yeah, 45 for sure. Yeah.
Then he's just a fullback at that point.
Yeah, that's what he looks like.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're having a lot of fun inside the Toyota Lounge, and I want to give a shout out to Toyota. Ryan, guess how many? The other guys can't guess. Guess how many hybrid vehicles Toyota has? Let's see if you're closer than they were. And you don't know if they were too high, too low. You have no idea.
7.
7. Wow, you were even further than these guys. If you would have multiplied it by 10, you still wouldn't have been close.
What does that mean?
They have 90 hybrid vehicles.
Like just available at the dealership right now?
No, just like different vehicles. They've
How
got
is that even,
hybrid.
I wouldn't even guess they had 90 models.
because
what I'm
they
saying.
probably have like different models within the vehicles.
We're just doing yesterday's podcast again, but RK's playing the role of God.
That's what makes Toyota special. They have so many options. Whether you want to be in the truck game, whether you want to be in like the sport game, whether you want to be in an SUV game, they've got it over at Toyota. And if you want to get yourself a Toyota, go and visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain State Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL and the official vehicle of DNVR.
And Circa Sportsbook. We talk a lot about how good their odds are. They're especially good on the futures bets. So like when you're shopping around, I actually just like searching found like an arbitrage opportunity, because you check all the odds, all the books, just to make sure, be smart.
Explain.
It was like,
what is that? What are you talking about?
So you can bet the yes at plus 200, the no at minus 190.
Okay.
And so basically, if you split your bets right, you put $1,500 on, split between the sides, you're guaranteed a $20 profit.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's just like, right, because like you're looking through and you're like, okay, what are the odds? It was the Avs to win the Western Conference. And so I was like looking through, but that's because they take such a low percentage of the money at Circa because they set the odds themselves. They don't do all like the gimmicks, the giveaways, that sort of stuff. And so especially on futures, that's where you see instead of plus 200, it's plus 250, or instead of like plus 500, it's plus 600. And it's so consistently the best. That's why we love Circa. And if you guys want to check them out, you can go download the app at circasports.com. Circa Sports bets can only be made while physically located in the state of Colorado. Must be 21 or older. All rights reserved. Circa Sports Colorado encourages you to gamble responsibly. Gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgamblingcolorado.org.
Why does everyone say I'm the Prius expert?
You just seem like one.
But I'll sign up for that. I'll absolutely be the Prius expert.
Can I
here.
just ask a random question that I bet you guys don't know the answer to?
Yeah.
Okay, so like Circa Sports bets can only be placed while in the state of Colorado, right?
Yep.
How high does that go? Like how?
Like if you're flying over?
Yes. Because I tried to make a bet
Gosh.
while flying over a state where sports betting was legal and it didn't work.
Really?
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Wait,
I
so
know.
do you
So
know
like
the
at
answer?
what point? No. At what point in the sky do you become no longer in that state?
I'm gonna go 16,000 feet because there are some points in states at 15,000 feet.
That's true.
That's true. Like if you go hike a 14er and try to place a bet from the
Yeah,
top, is it
yeah.
going to not register?
Yeah.
Do they have
Or does
service
it
on
have
those?
a blocker in it that knows when you're on plain Wi-Fi?
That could be.
Possibly.
I would
yeah.
guess it has something to do with the plane Wi-Fi
Yeah, I think so. Too.
because they
Yeah,
say
because
like
where is that located?
I
you know what I'm
don't
saying?
know.
Yeah.
What's the location of the
But
plane
if you're on
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi, it should just be able to GPS track you.
Well,
Know
a lot
exactly
of times
where
it
you are.
tells you to turn on Wi-Fi in
Yeah.
order to make the location tracking better.
But usually the Wi-Fi isn't moving.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
the
Yeah, where's
hell?
the Wi-Fi pinging from?
Yeah.
Like, where are they getting their
Like-
service from?
Like
No,
there must be a
stress-
satellite.
Stress if you're in airplane mode, it can't triangulate your location. Ha ha ha! Come on, take your ha ha ha's away. If you have if you have Wi-Fi on,
Right.
that completely cancels out.
Right.
Also, I never put on airplane mode.
Yeah, I didn't know that was
Sue
a
me.
thing. I learned that from you and from Paton. I learned that you don't actually have to be sitting down when the plane's taken off. He said in his retirement speech, he was like, yeah, one of the great things that they never tell you is, we're having the best time on the plane, standing up when we take off and all that stuff.
Yeah, they don't really like press the rules too much about like standing up, seatbelts, all that kind of
When
stuff.
you charter a flight, it's kind of yours.
Yeah, everybody's tray table is down. Usually better. They're usually
Sounds
Except
amazing.
you can't go to the Colorado Rockies extent and be pretending
yeah.
to fly
Ah,
the plane. That's probably off limits. You
That's
never
a
flew
crime.
the plane on the
No,
charter.
I never. No, I
Yeah,
never
probably
did that
smart.
one.
And then you
Yeah.
never posted pictures that you were doing that.
No,
I guess there
never
is a
did
reason
that.
the Broncos
That-
aren't the Rockies.
No pun intended. That story kind of flew under my radar.
Wow. Did you hear about
Like
it?
I saw a picture
Yeah.
and I saw a little bit about it, and then it just disappeared like everything else. With
It's
the
because
Rockies.
if it was the Broncos, period, if it was the Broncos, it would have been a massive story. But if it was like the Broncos when Todd was on the team, when they were good, oh my God.
Oh yeah, it would've been.
That would have been the biggest controversy ever. Coaches
Oh, yeah.
would have been suspended and would have actually impacted the team.
It'd be like if Vance Joseph decided hey, I want to go try to fly this plane. And the captain's like, yeah, hey, co-captain, get up. Come
All
see
right.
it. Because that's obviously against the rules.
Speaking
He's not qualified.
of Vance Joseph, he was part of this team
He was.
when the Broncos made some of these draft picks, but not at the very beginning. Very beginning. Let's start and grade the drafts because a lot of the times, especially when we grade the 2024 draft, a couple of weeks ago after the Broncos made their picks, some people were like, yeah, this is fun. Love it that you guys are doing this. And some people are like, you can't grade a draft until 3 years after.
I would say it's more like 5.
Oh, well, then let's go 5 years back and let's give grades.
No way. You can definitely grade a draft in 3 years.
Well, let's see if any of these draft grades change this year.
All right.
Where does it feel like we finally know?
I like that. So let's go back all the way to 2019 and grade this draft. Let me read the draft class to you. Broncos did have a first-round pick. Noah Fant. Then in the second round, they went Dalton Risner and Drew Lock. Third round, Dre'Mont Jones. Fifth round, Justin Hollins. And sixth round, Ryan's guy from CU, Juwan Winfrey. How do we feel about this draft right now?
Do you want my grade?
Yeah.
F.
Whoa. Okay. Wow.
Hard
Starting
F.
off with a
dang.
hard F. Wow.
Yeah, I mean that's I'll give it a D.
Based on what?
Dre'Mont was good.
Yeah.
Like Dalton Risner was a starter for a bit. Drew
Uh-huh.
Lock gave you a couple wins.
Yeah, none of those players ever contributed to winning anything significant.
Well, I mean, you're
I'm
going to
gonna
be able
give
to
it a
say
D
that
too.
about any of these classes.
I'm gonna give it a D too, because if Dre'Mont Jones was able to go out and get $15 million on the open market, and we couldn't keep him because we couldn't pay him, I think he played
Okay, that's
and did
fair.
his
Yeah.
job.
Do we get
Dalton
a
Risner was also
compensatory
starter for
pick
a
out
long
of
He's
that?
a
time.
starter. What?
Did we get a compensatory pick out of
No.
Oh,
The-
absolutely not. Broncos don't get compensatory
The
picks
Broncos
recently.
always sign more players than they have go, and
Okay.
so they're not eligible.
Even
And then
this
Drew
year,
Lock.
they're not going to get a compensatory pick.
I'll
No.
just say this: you guys are both right about Dre'Mont and Dalton being good starters, and I probably can't just say that they never won anything because that would be true of all of them. I'll just say that if the best thing that you can say about a whole draft class is that you got 2 serviceable starters that you never re-signed, that's an F for me.
That's very fair. I'm going to be the nicest here, and thank goodness I didn't go first, or else I would have been eviscerated by Ryan. I'll go D+ with this one. So just slightly better. The
Like
fact
what-
that they got multiple starters.
See, what are we talking?
Yeah, the fact they got multiple starters is what does it for me. But Ryan, it's really hard when you don't re-sign a single guy to
Well,
a second contract.
Yes, the only reason that we didn't sign Draymond, I think, is because we couldn't afford him. It
Yeah.
wasn't because
Instead,
he
they went
wasn't
and paid
re-signing
Zach
them.
Allen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
yes.
paid a little less for Zach Allen than they would have for Draymond.
Not much though, like $1
Not
million.
much, $1 million bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so they saved a couple bucks there. Also, Noah Fant, like he's still a starter. He's not like an exciting starter. You want like an exciting starter in the first round, but you also look. I mean, only 2 of the guys, 2 of the 12 drafted behind
Why
him
are you putting
in
that
the
up,
first
yeah?
round.
You just put up anything?
Yeah,
What did he say? I didn't
It says
see.
RK hates Drew Lock, which I was literally probably the last person
Yeah.
off of the Drew Lock train. I liked Drew Lock to a fault.
If you look at the end of that first round, though, like only 2 guys behind him made Pro Bowls: Josh Jacobs, Montez Sweat. The rest of them are like N'Keal Harry, Caleb McGarry, Rhymes, LJ Collier, Jerry Tillery, Jonathan Abram, Marquise Brown's fine, Titus Howard. Like Noah Fant, would be in the top few of the guys drafted behind him in the first round. Like at least he's a starter.
What's
What
crazy?
about the guys? Whatever.
What's crazy to me about Noah Fant is he came
Like
out
Debo
and
going
had
top the second.
Yeah.
he came out his rookie year and had the best
Terry
rookie
McLaurin.
tight end receiving in Broncos history. And the Broncos obviously have had some really good tight ends. 40 catches, 562 yards. The next year he comes out 62 catches, 673 yards. Like you're like, oh man, this guy could turn out to be that first round tight end. And the past 2 years with the Seahawks, 486 yards, 414 yards. Like something just happened, and now he's just turned into a 400 or 500 guy.
Those would be big numbers for a Bronco.
Yeah. I mean, the
Oh,
Broncos
gosh.
drafted a first-round tight end who was soft and couldn't break a tackle.
Yeah, I mean, it was wild. He was like a physical specimen, yet could not get 1 yard after the catch.
Except for that one time where he ran that dude over on the Browns and
That
took it to the
Browns
house.
game.
Yeah.
That
We're
Browns
like,
game
we
was
hung
so
our hat
sick.
on that for a while.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like Jerry Jeudy, which we're going to talk about. Actually, we're going to talk about Jerry Jeudy right now. Jerry Jeudy took that one pass at the end of his rookie year, 95 yards, and he turned on the Jets, and it was like, that is why the Broncos used their first round pick on Jerry Jeudy in this draft. Boy, the Broncos had like 10 picks here. Jerry Jeudy, K.J. Hamler, Michael O.J. Mudia, Lloyd Cushenberry, McTelvin Ajim, Albert Okwuegbunam, Justin Sternad, Natani Muti, Tyree Cleveland, and Derek Tuszka. Tuszka. You know how many guys are on the team right now? There's
one.
10. One. You guys are right. One. And it is Justin Sternad,
Sternad.
a special teams player. He hasn't played one snap of defense in the past 2 seasons. That's it.
Yeah.
From a draft class 4 years ago.
Yeah. You want me to start again?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Eviscerated.
I just want you guys to know that this is the reason why the Broncos suck right now.
100%.
F.
Yeah.
F.
Yeah.
Like what? None. You didn't get any players that made you better.
Okay, so what? So
You didn't
You-
get any players that made you better at the spot they were drafted in.
Well, like
Because Jerry
okay, so
was like a number 2. But you don't
Yes.
draft a guy 15 overall to be a number 2.
exactly. Obviously, Jerry Jeudy was probably better than your average replacement receiver that you could have just got off the street that year. And Lloyd Cushenberry was a okay starter for a couple years.
just 14 a year now.
But I don't think any player on this list made you considerably better at that position.
Man, and where I take real beef with this list is, Todd, you kind of said like 5th rounders have to make the roster.
Mhm.
4th and better, and you're pretty much guaranteed to make the roster, at least for your first year and probably
Yes,
even
I
your
think
first
so.
2 years. Michael Ojemudia, KJ Hamler, McTelvin Ajim, and Albert Okwuegbunam, all guys taken in the 4th round or higher that just had no impact on the team for even like 1 year. That is so hard for me to stomach. You only had 2 guys. You had what, 1, 2, 3, 4. You had 6 draft picks in the first 4 rounds, including 3 in the 3rd, and only 2 of them had any sort of real impact on your team. That to me is where it's just killer. And that's why I'm going D-, because at least you had some impact from this draft class. But I mean, it is bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's tough for me to give him an F though, just because of Lloyd Cushenberry.
Yeah.
Like, where does he rank as far as pay on O-lineman this year?
For
Or
centers, he's certainly top 10. He's probably pushing top 5.
For center, I think he's like number 2.
Yeah,
So I think that's another guy that
was.
was extremely talented that we couldn't keep because we couldn't afford him,
Yep.
not because it wasn't a good player. So I feel like
But he also only had
total
like
fail.
1.5 good seasons to get that
But
money.
sometimes,
But that's what happens.
but sometimes you got to build up to that.
Yeah,
I don't
for
think
sure.
everybody comes out and lights it up the
Yeah.
first year. Even quarterbacks need at least 2 or 3 years before they're actually rocking and rolling. So for him to be, 4 years in and finally fight his stride, I'm okay. I don't think that's a bad draft pick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I
No,
think
that's
just,
definitely a
that's
good
just his learning curve as a draft pick. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Oh, no.
You want an
I'm just saying D.
A? D,
Yeah.
there we go.
I think I'm going to go with D also. I think it's pretty similar to the one before. Jerry's just such a tough one because obviously, like, it's not a good pick, but how bad is it really? Like, in a vacuum, you're like, never got 1,000 yards count, pushed it, wound up with $17.5 million a year. Like, so for a mid-first round pick, he probably, like, for just a receiver draft in that spot, he outperformed the average, but that doesn't mean it's a good pick just because the batting average is so low. What kills you is just that the other guys were on the board.
Yeah,
like
100%.
And so like you then have to factor in you could have just had Justin Jefferson instead, and that's a mistake.
Or
you
like
think-
you settle for Brandon Ayuk.
Do you think
That'd be
every
pretty
team
nice.
in the NFL can do that stuff as much as the Broncos can, where it's like they drafted Jake Butt and then George Kittle went the next pick?
Yeah.
Like, they drafted Carlos Henderson and someone really dope.
Yeah, someone
went
really
the next-
good.
No, it
it feels
wasn't.
like Debo, but it's not. That was a different draft. Someone else went like
Yeah.
really dope the next pick. It's like it feels like the Broncos can do that more than anyone.
Well,
but
with
it
those-
might be everyone. Can
With
do that.
those
Yeah.
examples in particular, Brandon Ayuk goes to the 49ers, Jerry Jeudy goes to the Broncos, and you can't be surprised. Like, if you were to bet on one of those guys succeeding in that team in that situation, like, you'd have to take the guy who goes to the 49ers, you know?
Yeah.
There's one spot that the Broncos can do that with in a beneficial area, and we'll get to that when we continue to look at these drafts. But I have an issue with something that Todd has said multiple times
Chris Godwin
now.
right after Carlos Henderson.
Chris Godwin, yep, that's a good one.
Could be fun.
I have an issue with something that Todd said multiple times now, and I want to bring it up. And
The way he just looked at him.
maybe I should just leave right now and join our friends over at True Fan Travel, because that'll take me out of this country to this state, get me safe for right now. And if you guys want to travel with us, True Fan Travel is the way to go. What it is it lets you guys come on trips with us when we travel. And when I say we, I mean the 4 of us. We are going to New Orleans this year for a Broncos game for Sean Payton's return.
Wow.
Is he going to be greeted with booze or cheers?
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers,
Beads,
of course.
loads of Mardi Gras beads.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, how's he going to get those?
I don't know. They're just gonna throw them at me.
And then also the Buffs are going to be traveling a lot this year. And so if you want to join us on these trips, go to truefantravel.com, where it's going to be an all-inclusive package. It's going to get you pretty much everything you need. It's going to get you airfare. It's going to get you transportation to the airport. It's going to get you transportation to the game. It's going to get you tickets to our tailgates. It's going to get you pretty much everything you need from the moment you get to DIA to the moment that you get to the location or wherever you're traveling from. So make sure if you want to join us on one of these trips, go to thednvr.com for more information. Go to truefantravel.com/trips to book your spot today. Be on the lookout for more road trips brought to you by True Fan Travel. Sign up for these road trips are live while sports last.
And check out our new friends that I don't think we've talked about yet on the podcast, Dialed In Gummies. So, Dialed In Gummies, they're Colorado's premium cannabis gummy. They specialize in craft and small batch for the past few years. They've made over 2,500 different batches. So they try to like turn them over quickly because they, for the most part, all have themes. For example, right now, you can get a shout out to Rocky. Oh, it's a slam dunk batch. Rocky.
Yes.
I'm not sure how much we can say about Rocky, but we all know Rocky here.
What?
I understand what you're getting at.
Yeah, no.
The purple dinosaur?
What? That's Dinger.
Oh my gosh.
Unless you're thinking Barney. No, not a purple dinosaur.
What does the DJ do?
Yeah. You mean the highest paid mascot in sports?
No, that's the Philly Fanatic.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, it used to be Rocky.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But you can check out the 1,950 of the batch. Shout out to Rocky, an ode to everybody's favorite mountain lion mascot. And they also have batch 1942. Smells like Team Spirit, which is a sentimental nod to the Avs as they position themselves in the playoffs. Go to dialedingummies.com or visit a dispensary near you, and you can learn more about these limited small batch releases.
Did Rocky do something bad?
What? No.
Why aren't we able to talk about it
Well, so
more?
here's the deal. So I was reading it, and I was like, well, I'm not sure if they're able to say, like
if we were going to put Rocky on a shirt,
yeah.
Couldn't really put Rocky on a shirt.
You know
what I'm saying?
I get
but
what you're
then
saying.
when I got to you also have the batch 1942 smells like Team Spirit, a sentimental nod to the Avs as they position themselves in the playoffs. So apparently you can say that.
Maybe not Avalanche, but you can say Avs.
Well, you just said it now, so
well, the ad is over. Okay, so Todd, something that you've said multiple times that I have an issue with, but not with what you've said, but what's behind it. You've said multiple times, like, well, the Broncos haven't been able to pay these guys, like a Lloyd Cushenberry, like Dre'Mont Jones. Where the hell's their money going to? Like, you're supposed to be able to pay your own draft picks. No, because Dre'Mont was before that. Right? Yeah, he was. No, I guess he was last year. He would have been during that. But like that, it's a massive issue with the organization. On one, if you can't draft good enough, and then two, if the few draft picks that you have that you can re-sign, you're not able to because you don't have the money. Like, no wonder the Broncos haven't made the playoffs since 2016. Is both of these things
definitely the combination of bad drafting and not having any money?
No,
that's what does it.
If you want to know why the Broncos are bad, literally just search Broncos draft history and just scroll through these names.
Yeah,
this is why the Broncos are bad. There's not even a second part to that. Like, if you look at try to figure out what the best draft they've had since they won the Super Bowl is.
2021.
Well, let's talk about 2021. Let's dish out a grade right now. We've got Pat Surtain, Javonte Williams, Quinn Meinerz, Baron Browning, Caden Stearns, Jamar Johnson, Seth Williams, Kerry Vincent Jr., Jonathan Cooper, and Marquise Spencer. Todd, you said it's the best draft they've had.
Yeah, hands down. I think Pat Surtain, All-Pro, one of the best in the league, has possession. Javonte came in, had a phenomenal first year, got injured and hasn't been able to bounce back. Quinn Meinerz is looking like he may be one of the top 5 guards in the whole NFL. Baron Browning is a starter, is a game changer when he's healthy. Hasn't been. Caden Stearns, potential starter, got hurt. Jonathan Cooper, starter. Not the best in his position, but a very good player.
Especially for
still growing. Yes, for a 7th-round pick. So this draft class, if we could have draft classes like this, we would be very successful. So I'm actually going to give this one a B-. I think this is a pretty good draft class overall.
Yeah, I'll give it a B+.
Yeah, I
almost want to go higher.
So I think there's a wide range of places you could go here. Not that wide, but okay. PS2 absolutely nailed it. And that's pick 9, which isn't guaranteed.
Yeah.
Top 5 you should definitely get right. But you deserve credit for getting a player as good as PS2 at 9. It's not just like of course you should have.
And to add on top of that, we talked about, have the Broncos had any of those picks where they drafted a bad player and then right after a good player was? The Broncos, this is the one time that they were the beneficiaries of that. J.C. Horn was a cornerback taken at pick number 8.
Yep.
And then they got Pat Surtain at 9. So for your point of like, it's not a guarantee. It was not a guarantee. J.C. Horn did not work out.
Quinn Meinerz, absolute home run.
Yep.
Those are the two that you can say for sure are like you absolutely nailed them. Javonte, the injury is obviously the injury, but it kind of takes that. It almost makes me put that in like a no grade. Like you remove it because he was really good. Then he got hurt. No one's fault.
And if he plays well this year.
Yeah, and there's still time to be seen. Baron Browning, I think for a 3rd round pick, you absolutely nailed that one.
Injuries too.
Yeah, he has been banged up, but for a 3rd round pick, you got like a really shockingly athletic player who can make plays that few others can. The rest, Caden Stearns, we don't really know, even though he's made plays when he was out there. And then Jonathan Cooper, you get bonus points because that's a throwaway pick that you actually got a legit player out of.
Yeah.
Plus, I think Kerry Vincent in the 7th round. Did they trade him?
Yeah, they traded him for a 6th round pick.
So there's a bonus there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going A here. I'm giving the best grade of this group. You got an all-pro guy that's on track for the Hall of Fame right now, just 3 years into his career with Pat Surtain. And then I am going to give them a little benefit of the doubt with Javonte and Barron being injured. And then Quinn Meinerz is a guy. So you have 2 to 3 guys that are on track, 2 to 4 guys really that are on track for second contracts. That's so different than these other draft classes we've talked about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying not to grade against the other draft classes because against the other draft classes this is like an A++++.
100%.
Yeah.
But I think on the grand scale, I'm giving this an A-.
There we go. So by far the best grades that we've given. Let's look at 2022 now. Do we?
Oh my God, yeah.
Do we grade with a curve here or no? Because Broncos did not have a 1st round pick because they traded it for Russell Wilson.
It's about what you do with what you have.
Okay, so here we go.
Well,
Nick,
Nobody stole their pick.
It's not
so
that
then do you include Russell Wilson in kind of this in the pick?
If you want to. I wouldn't, but no. Because, I mean, like, if you willingly gave your pick away, that was your decision.
Right, no one stole it.
Nobody,
from you.
yeah.
Right.
So let's
But
see
at
what
the
you
same-
did from there.
To Henry's point, though, it's about what you did with what you had.
Yep.
So you kind of have to grade, like, you can't give them minus points for not having a 1st round pick.
Unless you say that it was for Russell Wilson, and then
Well,
you
yeah.
throw Russell Wilson's production in here.
You could do that. It would kind of probably cancel out.
Itself out.
Yeah.
So here's what the Broncos had with their 2nd round pick, their 1st pick: Nik Bonitto, Greg Dulcich, Damari Mathis, Ini Uwazurike, Delarian Turner-Yell, Montrell Washington, Luke Wattenberg, Matt Henningsen, and Fayon Hicks.
So
Let's
let's
know why
see.
the Broncos are bad.
Matt Hennings in the 6th round. You've got a guy who's been a rotational player for a couple of years. That's a win. It's not like a huge win, but you hit a single or maybe a double.
Agreed.
Luke Wattenberg, if he becomes the starter, then that would be like a nice win from the 5th round, but he hasn't done that yet, so you can't give him 8 points for that.
We're grading on right now, right?
Exactly. So like you can't give him 8 points. Montrell Washington did a couple nice things, but obviously not enough.
Not really.
Delarian Turner-Yell, one of your best special teamers, again, 5th round. So like there just isn't too much to like. Damari Mathis gave you like a starting season.
What happened to Ini
And fell apart.
Uwazurike?
He may be reinstated July 24th.
What? Why is he not reinstated right now?
Yeah, and then like Greg Dulcich hasn't done anything. Nik Bonitto is good. Since 2019, so since we started all these, you know who the only player who has more sacks in a season than Nik Bonitto does for the Broncos?
And since when?
2019, start of when we did this.
More sacks in one season.
In one season.
Malik Reed.
Nope,
Dre'Mont Jones.
he had 8. No, it's last year. Jonathan Cooper had 8.5. Nik Bonitto had 8. Vaughn also had 8.
I honestly
one
didn't
year, so
realize
there's a
Jonathan
couple guys
Cooper had
tied.
8.5 sacks last year. That might bump that last grade up even
Best
higher.
pass rush season from a Bronco since 2018. Kind of crazy.
That's
7th round pick.
what's crazy about that. You said that he had 8 sacks. No, 8. Yeah, 8 sacks. All of his sacks came in 5 games. Over half of it, or no, over half of his sacks came in 2 games. So almost half of his production in the NFL in terms of sacks have come in 2 games.
Yeah.
Do you know who was picked 1 pick after De'Aaron Turner-Yell?
Oh gosh, who?
A guy that I was pounding the table for.
Oh, that's
For
right.
the Broncos to take with their 2nd round pick, and it still would have been a good pick. Tariq Woolen.
Yep.
Big and fast.
Man, that would have been nice across from Pat Surtain right now.
Good call out by someone in the comments there. Jose. Yeah.
So what are you guys going for this draft? Again, now this is kind of the territory where people say this is too early to grade a draft because we're only 2 years out, so it certainly can change in the future. But right now, Todd, where are you going?
For right now, I'm gonna say D+. We gotta see what happens.
B?
D.
Oh, D. Okay, I was gonna say, holy cow,
Some
you're
good.
nice.
Some guys on here that can be good. Injuries / okay production. Still kind of figuring things out. Plus, we traded some guys away, and we don't know about potential starters on the O line. So I'm gonna say D+.
Yeah, to me, I'm gonna go D. And the reason is I look at all of these guys. You don't even get one full productive season if you combine all of these guys together. You're gonna get one full productive season, and you have like 8 draft picks here that you get to choose, and you don't even get one full productive season. Like I said, with Nik Bonitto, you got 2 really good games. Greg Dulcich, you got a couple of
12,
good games. Damari Mathis, showed promise
He was
the
good.
second half of his rookie season. And that's it. Like, there's been nothing here. There's still hope. If Greg Dulcich can stay healthy, but I'm kind of over that. I think I'm not counting on him to do much now, and I hope to see a step up from Nik Bonitto, but we need to see way more consistency.
But I think it's also tough because you can only grade what you've seen, and Greg Dulcich had the most receiving yards of any rookie tight end, right? Like, even though he's only played 12 games, that was, in terms of just production, the best rookie receiving tight end in the league that year in one of his 2 seasons. So I guess there's just a lot of ways. Like Damari Mathis, the fact that you've had him for 2 years, and one of those years he played started 10 games, I think it was, and played really well. Led
the league in pass interference penalties.
Also that too. So he basically, did they win that? I can't remember.
No,
but he had
they
that
loss on a fumbled punt in overtime.
Oh,
right.
gosh.
So yeah, there's just, it's weird. Like Nik Bonitto, the 64th pick. What do you expect from the 64th pick? 1 good year as a pass rusher and 1 year where he basically didn't do anything. That's probably about what you expect.
So
This is a really tough one for me. I'm gonna go C-.
And Ryan?
F.
F.
Wow.
Where's the game changer?
Oh, it's not there.
Why are they still trying to add edge rushers?
Yeah. Remember when Russell Wilson tried to take credit for the Montrell Washington pick? He was like, yeah, I was in George's office. We were looking at film, and I said, that guy, I want that guy.
Honestly, George Payton should be talking about that as much as he can.
right. Let's throw this one on Russ.
He's like, that one's actually wasn't me. That was Russ's pick.
Yeah.
All right, let's round it out with our pick for the grades for the 2023 draft class, where it was a small class because the Broncos had traded picks away for Russell Wilson with this draft and also with Sean Payton, so they did not have a first-round pick. You had Marvin Mims, Drew Sanders, Riley Moss, J.L. Skinner, and Alex Forsyth. Henry, we'll start with you.
Forsyth hasn't done anything. Skinner hasn't done anything. Moss hasn't done anything. So you only really have the first 2 picks. Drew Sanders didn't really do anything. Marvin Mims is a good returner. I'm really excited to see what these guys do going forward. But as of now, what we've seen so far, what have they done?
Hold on.
A D.
Okay. All right.
A D-.
Before you say anything, to me, the only possible fair grade here would be incomplete.
Yeah, it's too early. I feel like
That's not
too
the
early.
game.
Because
Yeah,
if it's not that, then guess
That's
what?
not the
If
game.
Henry's
We're putting
calling
another
you out
F
for
on
that.
the board.
Exactly.
I is not allowed.
Okay.
You going F?
Yes.
Like, they just haven't done anything. It doesn't mean they won't do anything.
Right.
But
and I want it to be known that I said it should be I.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I totally agree. Like, I would say that about the last couple as well. Like, what does Javonte do this year? That's important to that class.
Yeah, and we'll go back and review these in a year from now, too. So, Ryan, are you following suit?
I'll give it F+. Just for Marvin Mims being fun.
F+, that's nice.
They are very fun players, all of them.
I'm gonna go C- here because you have a Pro Bowler. Now it's maybe at a very
the least valuable Pro Bowl spot.
Yeah,
There's no Pro Bowl long snapper.
Yeah. Would you rather have a Pro Bowl punter or a Pro Bowl returner?
Punter.
Okay, well then it's at the least
Returner.
valuable spot. This class
Returner.
right now has a combined 30 tackles and 377 offensive yards. That's what this class did their rookie season. Now they didn't have a first round
That's
pick.
why it's not fair to grade it, in my opinion.
That's fair. That's totally fair. But as of just 1 year in, we need to see a lot more from this class. Todd, where are you going?
I think we need to see more, but I'm not going to grade them poorly yet. I'm going to give them a B. Because of what Marvin Mims did as a rookie, I think that's really outstanding. I don't know if any other class that we've graded so far has had a Pro Bowl rookie. Pat Surtain, but even him was a first-round draft pick, number 9.
He's an all-pro, too.
Returner or not, pick number 32. So I think that's a really good pick for the Broncos. Pick number 63. So
Yeah.
that's a phenomenal pick by the Broncos. Drew Sanders has promise. Riley Moss, according to Hank, he's the starter this year.
Mhm.
Forsyth.
It's his
He's the
turn.
one that told them to draft Bo Nix. So he definitely
Ooh.
should get some credit for that at least.
So
Only
now
if Bo Nix is good.
I was gonna say, so now Sean gets to use Alex Forsyth.
Yep.
Either Sean gets to take the credit for Bo, or he can be like, we just got really bad intel from Alex Forsyth. That one's not on me, guys.
He had terrible foresight.
Right?
Yes, I'm gonna give it a B. Let's see what they do.
All right,
Alright.
let me just say this. If the best thing that you can say about a class is they got special teams contributions, then it's an F.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect
that's
special
fair.
teams.
But Marvin Mims was he not the player everybody was saying needs more snaps? Did he
100%.
not? Did he
Everybody
not look
said-
phenomenal when he was out there as a wide receiver? Could
Even
he
Sean said
have potential to have been our best wide receiver last year if they threw him the ball more?
I
How
think
is
so.
that?
Yeah.
I can't comprehend that, though.
I
What
know.
you mean?
I agree.
Why? Like, if that was true, why wouldn't they do it?
Oh, I don't know.
See,
but it was the truth.
See, and I brought this up saying how like fan favorites in training camp, like the Jordan Taylor Sunshines, there's a reason why they're not out on the field, even though they had a great couple of plays in training camp, and fans are like, man, this coaching staff's so dumb. No, typically it's because they don't know the playbook. They don't know what's going on. Coaches aren't intentionally leaving good players off the field, except Sean kept telling us he doesn't know why Marvin's not in the game. He kept telling us throughout the season, like, I need to get Marvin in the game. I'm disappointed in myself for not putting him on the field more. So that's the one that's just mind-blowing.
That
I
would be
feel
like
like he
you
was on
sitting
the
right
field.
here and being like, I don't know why they don't talk about Marvin Mims more on the DNVR Broncos podcast.
When you have the power.
You are the host.
Yes, I know.
You get to choose what we talk about.
That was like one of the things that I think Sean took the blame for last year. Like, was willing to actually be like, he didn't say it's my fault, but essentially he was saying that.
Yeah.
I pulled up the
I like that one we had the biggest disparity in our grades.
Yeah.
Makes sense being like the one that still has a lot of time to grow.
Yeah. I pulled up the 49ers draft picks in this time. They're not that good. Like, it's actually kind of crazy when you look at it. So they start off in 2019 with Nick Bosa, Deebo Samuel, which is like a huge like starting point, but you go
Basically
from
just
there.
ends the whole conversation right then.
Well, yeah, but that's kind of the point, is that like you just hit on a few of these.
Yes. But you
Like-
got to really, really hit. The half hits like Baron Browning
Right.
only work if you're already good.
But then after that, Jalen Hurd, Mitch Wishnowsky, Dre Greenlaw's a starter, Caden Smith, Justin School, Tim Harris. The next year, Javon Kinlaw, 1 year starter, 5 sacks, winds up leaving.
Wow.
Ayuk, a good player.
Yep.
Colton McKivitz.
Very good player.
Charlie Warner, Jawan Jennings. The next year, Trey
Juwan
Lance.
Jennings plays for them.
Yeah, he has 963 yards in 3 years. Like, he's a rotational guy. Next year, Trey Lance, Aaron Banks, Trey Sermon, Ambry Thomas, Jalen Moore, Diamador Lenore, Talanoa Funga, my guy, Elijah Mitchell. The next year, Drake Jackson, Tyrion Davis Price, Danny Gray, Spencer Burford, Sam Warmack, Nick Zackelge, Kalia Davis, Tariq Castro Fields, Brock Purdy. There's a good one.
Okay, but
Jair Brown, Jake Moody, Cameron Latu, Darrell Reuter, Robert Beal, D. Winters, Braden Willis, Ronnie Bell, Jalen Graham. Like it's still like 80% nobodies.
Yes, but
you just get the couple
when you
big
go through
hits.
The first couple of drafts, I think they got like 1 or 2 Pro Bowlers in every year.
Yeah.
For a couple years straight.
Yep. And so let's wrap this conversation up.
And they had lower draft picks than the Broncos in every round.
Yeah.
True.
Except for Nick Bosa.
And Nick, yeah.
But you talked about, you asked Hank, okay, well, who were the real true hits? And the 49ers did have some real true hits.
Yeah.
In these past 5 drafts, who have been the Broncos' real true hits? I
Pat
would say
Quinn.
Pat Surtain and Quinn.
Yeah. And if you're looking at value, then like
Jonathan Cooper.
Exactly.
That would be.
And that's the thing.
We got to put Marvin in there too.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, I know he was a Pro Bowler.
300 yards though.
I know he's a Pro Bowler as a punt returner, but do you know how hard it is to be a Pro Bowler?
That's fair.
You know what you have to do,
That's fair.
even as a
Okay.
rookie. I don't
That's
care if
fair.
you return the ball or
That is
not.
true.
Like,
As a
that's
rookie.
so hard to do. And so I can't discredit him and say that he wasn't a hit for the Broncos.
Fair.
And it's only 1 year in.
Yeah.
300 yards
Mm-hmm.
as a rookie is not a terrible season, but you put on top of that, I was also the Pro Bowl, one of the best returners in the league. And the reason why I probably didn't play as much offense is because they needed me to return kicks. He's a hit. That's a
Okay.
win.
It's fair.
I can get behind that.
Okay, we've
then-
got a whole draft to get it. You want to make a final case?
Yeah, the difference is just getting 3 studs. Like if in all those 5 drafts, the Broncos just come away with like 3 more just like dudes,
Yeah.
then they're right there.
That's a massive thing to ask for, though.
It is, but like
Not
that's
really.
how slim the margins
No,
are.
I'm saying there's a big. I think there's a big gap there.
Between what they got and getting dudes?
Yes.
Yes. No, I agree.
Definitely.
But it's not crazy to ask them
No.
in 3 of these, whatever it is, 50 picks.
Yeah.
Yep.
To actually get guys.
Yep.
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 And that's all it would have taken. And this
So-
would have been a very happy conversation.
So let's dive in to our draft this week. And we're going to be talking about drafts, except we're going back all the way till 2010. On our Friday draft, we're going to pick the best individual Broncos draft picks since 2010. So the whole board's open all the way back to 2010 with the Broncos. And let's just go with this order that we've got on the board. Todd, Hank, me, Ryan. Todd, you got the first round pick.
Come on, guys. You know who I'm taking.
Yeah.
Shout out to Von Miller.
Yeah.
Number 1 pick.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
playing.
100%.
Yep.
Henry?
By the way, highest draft pick the Broncos have had in that
Yeah.
time.
Ever.
Ever.
Right?
Yeah.
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 So they hit on it.
I'll take Pat.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to go DT here.
Good.
First round pick in 2010. The best thing that Josh McDaniels ever did to this organization. Maybe one of the only good things.
And these are like value picks, right?
I don't think so. No. I think
These
it's
are just the best players
best-
they've drafted.
well, just best picks.
Yeah.
However
Take
you.
that. Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well,
Oh.
Whoever you want to
I didn't
show
expect
on your
to
board.
get last pick here.
So it's just the best players then.
Yeah, however you want to make it.
I don't even know where to go.
Back-to-back picks for you here, Ryan.
Okay, give me a second here.
To be fair for you, when you're looking, I thought there was a strong top 3, and I think
That's what I mean.
it went in the order that I had: Von,
I-
Pat, DT.
And I didn't know which way the board was going to go.
I didn't
so I had
either.
my top 3 in my
I truly
head.
didn't know either.
All right, give me a sec.
That was you here. Not in a bad way. Just no one had that advantage. Do you guys have who you go with here at 4?
Yep.
Yep.
Todd has a big smile saying it too.
All right, I'll
Yep.
take Justin Simmons here.
Yeah.
That's a
that
good
was the
one.
right pick.
And probably the best value, maybe of any.
There was a case for that to be the best pick they made.
Yeah.
Getting him in the 3rd round, that's a steal.
What?
I probably it's hard to beat Von, but I mean number
Yeah.
2 overall.
Oh,
pick.
yeah, but yeah.
Yeah. But like if you're
Value.
saying like,
Yeah.
damn, your GM made that, that's
Yeah.
like that's a great pick.
I think
you know?
do you expect to get a Hall of Famer with the number 2 overall pick?
You're disappointed if you don't.
You should.
Is it a fair expectation though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially if you're going non-quarterback. Like quarterback, you get a little
Yeah.
leeway because you're probably reaching for one.
Number 2, yeah.
All right. Next pick, I will take. I guess I'm just going. Because I'm just the value squad. Give me Quinn Meinerz.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Those are the two. Those are the two obvious ones. I think.
That's a good one right there. So now I'm up. Man, still some really good players on the board. I could go true value and go Trevor Siemian here.
Oh my God.
I mean, 7th round quarterback that started 2 years for you.
What happened in those 2 years?
They had a winning record. Trevor has the most wins of a starting quarterback since Peyton Manning.
In a season, yes.
With this one, man, I'm going to go Derek Wolfe.
The fact that
I like Wolf.
the fact
I
that
like
the
Wolfe.
drop off
Yeah.
is so steep, even in a 15-year sample size, after the top 3 is concerning.
Yeah.
It is
Very
a little
much is.
disappointing.
Like you're taking a guard that was taken in just the past couple of years with your second pick.
Yeah.
Like
I
still
think
a
you
good
probably
pick.
made a better pick than me, to be honest.
Thank you.
I'll go with Eric Decker.
Dang, that was
Yeah.
me
Yeah,
on there.
I
third
was
round pick,
almost gonna do
couple
that.
1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah.
Decker,
Decker,
in
yeah.
the second round is not.
Third round. Oh, in my second round.
Todd, you got back-to-back picks here.
Oh shoot, it's getting tough now.
I did. Oh no,
I did.
no, I got.
I took Wolf.
I mean, there's still some good.
I've got
picks out
I've got
there.
some picks.
We definitely.
I think
got some
I'm
good
missing
picks.
a
yeah.
couple here.
All right. So let's go off the beaten path. Somebody who was nice while he was here, but kind of forgotten. There's 2 good ones here. I'm gonna go Julius Thomas.
That's
a good one.
yeah.
It's very slept on. Phenomenal tight end.
His reputation has taken some hits since he left.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because he didn't block anyone.
Well, and just like when he was here, he was electric.
He was
Yeah.
like incredible.
Yeah.
As a Bronco,
Like he was like
When
one of the
he-
best tight ends in the
when he
league.
played, he was
Yes.
electric.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then he
There were a lot
got
of
when he
questions
left
about-
he got the soft label put on.
Yeah.
He did.
100%.
But when he was here, he was awesome.
Then
This starts the speed round here,
all
guys.
right, is this guy
There's
like
no
a Ring of
speed round.
Famer? No, I don't know. Orlando Franklin. I'll go with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's a really good one. I'm gonna go especially for value. I'm gonna go Malik Jackson here, Super Bowl 50 champ.
Love
Big
Malik.
part of a reason why.
Is it me?
It is. Oh shit, that was
Oh, you
Henry's
jumped.
Oh, wow.
That was
Oh,
Henry's
no.
Huh.
pick. Do you want him?
pick. You can have him.
Yeah, only because I think I can get my. I'll take Malik Jackson. Let's go. That guy was electric.
You deserve that.
Yep. I do. With this pick, I'm gonna go Danny Trevathan
Stop
here.
taking my.
That's a good one.
Good pick.
You
Good
get back-to-back ones here, Ryan.
I know, and you keep taking my shit. All right, back-to-back picks. I'm going to take
Speed.
Cortland Sutton,
Okay.
There was time.
and I will take Bradley Roby.
Nice.
Oh, now I'm up.
Yes.
I right here am going to take Hank's pick, and I'm going to go with Garrett Bowles.
Oh, that's fine. I've got Matt Paradis here.
Yeah.
Sixth rounder.
Oh, 6th rounder. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I feel like that should have been earlier.
I know. I got Chubb.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Bradley Chubb. Hey, that too.
He really likes his pick now.
So Bradley Chubb, and then
Your final pick here.
my final pick. It's too many good. Brock is not a bad pick.
He isn't.
He's really
Actually,
not.
I would make the case that
He's
he was
really-
a horrible pick.
For that year, he
Yes.
wasn't.
No, I just
Yeah.
mean the fact that
Overall.
you got Peyton Manning and then you
Yeah.
used your second pick of that season on a quarterback when
It
you were
is-
in a win now window.
But if we
It
don't
is-
have
Exactly.
him,
I know, I
it'd be
know.
not even
Yeah.
But
winning.
what if you got someone else really dope there and then you didn't have to wait till the last year?
What
I
if?
changed nothing.
It is no
Yeah, I
different.
don't
It
know.
is
I'm
not
no-
messing with
It's no
history.
different than what the Falcons just did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, well, it is a little different because the Falcons did it with the top 10 pick.
It's also a little
Yeah,
different
so it's
because
even worse.
it's
But
what the Falcons did.
was worse.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
100%.
it's also
All right,
Kirk
Todd,
Cousins
round us
versus
out.
Peyton
Just for
Manning.
who he is as a person and for
God
what he
damn.
did in Colorado. Give me Tim Tebow.
No, that was gonna be my
Timmy,
pick.
that's
right
old.
here.
Come on.
The
You
Broncos
just swooped
drafted
that
quarterback
from
to
me.
ever win a playoff game.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, I hate that. I'm gonna go value here. Oh no, I'm not. Send me.
Oh, you keep doing that. Josie's still on the board, right?
He is.
Yep.
Fourth round starter. Give me Josie.
I
like
joked
it.
about it earlier, but great value here. Give me Trevor Siemian, 7th round pick quarterback that has the most wins since Paton left.
It's the quarterback round, I guess. Give me the beam of hope. Give me Bo Nix.
Hey.
No, I thought we were going.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't
yes.
even think about
2010
I
on.
didn't even think about this draft. I love it. Let's hit the super chats before we get out of here. We got one for coming in from Jay, who says, what is the rationale behind what makes a good number? I've always been under the impression that it came down to what a particular player did with a number, not a number being inherently good or bad.
It's kind of hard to explain, but just certain numbers
Aesthetic.
look right.
It's vibes.
Certain numbers look wrong. And so, yeah, like, I don't think 15 is an inherently great number, but it looked awesome on Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
It also
win-
looked awesome
yes.
on Brandon Marshall.
It
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
It wouldn't look right on, I don't know, Marvin Mims.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Was it? I know Isaiah McKenzie was wearing number 84, right? Like Marvin Mims had 83 last year. Those little guys in those 80s numbers, I personally really like it, but it does look wrong.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't like it. I think it's the aesthetics of the number and how they fit on a jersey and the person that's wearing it. There are some numbers that'll never work, like 67
Yeah.
or like
Yeah.
37 is probably like, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of
Wow.
it is based off of like how the number looks when the person is wearing it, and then it can be elevated based off of how they play.
You know what the best number in the NFL is? Pat Surtain wearing number 2. PS2 and 2
Yeah.
Yes,
is that's a 100 score
Yeah.
Mhm.
on
Yeah.
the number and just how it looks on him as a player.
And
Yeah.
last one coming in from Evan, who says, how would you guys feel if Wilson and Stidham compete for the starting quarterback job this year, and Bo Nix spends all of this year at quarterback school with Webb and Carmichael to prep for 2025, like Mahomes and Reed? To me, there's one huge issue here. The Broncos don't have a Alex Smith, who was literally playing at an all-pro MVP type of level the year before they drafted Mahomes. Broncos don't have that.
Yep.
If you have that, the only quarterbacks that have succeeded sitting a year are the ones that have been in that Alex Smith, the Aaron Rodgers, the Brett Favre situation where you have a really good player above them. If you sit your whole rookie year and don't have a good quarterback above you, it means you're trash. Just like Paxton Lynch. He was trash. That's why he didn't start.
Great point. I'll just
Wow.
say this. If that happens, me and Broncos Country are going to have an ugly breakup because the Broncos are going to have a top 3 pick, and I'm going to be saying, I don't care about Bo Nix, draft Shedeur Sanders.
That's
and people
actually
aren't going to like it.
If they don't start Bo, then they should draft someone because it means they don't believe in him.
It's honestly fair.
Yeah. I mean, there's just no reason. If it was Drake May or JJ McCarthy, I think there'd be a good case for it because those guys don't look ready. It's Bo Nix, though. Like, the point of drafting Bo is because he's the most ready.
Make sure to stay tuned to DNVR_Broncos on Twitter this weekend, where Broncos rookie mini camp is going on, and we'll be out there tomorrow. So stay tuned there. Happy Mother's Day to all of our wonderful mothers, and also the wonderful mothers that watch the show. And shout out to Zach Wilson when it comes to Mother's Day. We will see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.